John Rhys Davis here, Salah in Indiana Jones, and Gimli in Lord of the Rings. Give 'em hell, 3 guys and a flick.
Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The show is about to begin.
Strange, isn't it? Each man's life touches so many others. When he isn't around, he leaves an awful hole, doesn't he?
Three guys and a flick with Don, Ken and John. Dive this holiday movie while after the dawn. From the good to the bad to the wildly absurd. They give a fine la 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 from sad voices are heard.
Welcome back. You are listening to Three Guys and a Flick. This is where we review the good, the bad, and the absurd. Tonight kicks off our holiday series with It's a Wonderful Life. Beware spoilers. Coming to you from a bridge in Bedford Falls, New York, my name is Don. And to my right, we have the comic book guy, John.
Heidi ho.
And to my left, we have the professor, Ken.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, why are we all in black and white? Ken, any idea why we're in black and white?
No, but it's kind of cool. It looks kind of noir.
I was just going to say, yeah, I look pretty good in black and white.
All I want to know is, why are those 2 guys going for a swim when it's freezing out right now?
Yeah, your guess is as good as mine. But in 1947, apparently a lot of things were different.
Okay.
Tonight we are talking about It's a Wonderful Life. It's a Wonderful Life comes to us from the Bronco Helmet and was submitted by Jack H. and Chris T. So thank you for throwing that into the Bronco Helmet. We appreciate it. This one is for you. Released on December 20th, 1946, It's a Wonderful Life was directed by Frank Capra. Screenplay by Francis Goodrich, Albert Hackett, and Frank Capra. Based on The Greatest Gift, a short story by Philip Van Dorn Stern. And it stars James Stewart, Donna Reed, Lionel Barrymore, Thomas Mitchell, Henry Travers, Bella Bondi, Ward Bond, Frank Phelan, Gloria Graham, and a bunch of other Christmas cliches.
How'd this movie do, Don?
This movie was made for $3.7 million and brought in $3.3 million.
It was considered a flop when it first came out.
Yeah, it absolutely was. I mean, it barely makes its money back. And back then, I mean, what is $3 million? $8 billion today?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, this whole production was one of the biggest productions of the time. The set-wise alone, they built a whole city for this, whole town for this movie.
Yeah.
Covered 4 acres.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I always thought that when he's running down the street, the main center of town, always kind of looked like the Warner Brothers studio set to me, or Universal, one of the two. But no, they built this for this movie. So, and it's not one of those. Have you guys seen It's a Wonderful Life before?
Yes, maybe 40,000 times.
Maybe 40,000 times? Okay, what about you?
For the longest time, I'd only seen bits and pieces of it, and I know I watched it all the way through once, but really didn't pay much attention. So this was my first serious watch-through of the movie.
I am with you on that, and in fact, I think this might be the first time I've ever seen this movie.
Get out.
Hey, I know. I mean, the last 10 minutes of this movie is so famous, you forget what happens the other 2 hours.
I completely thought for some reason, the going through of his life was the first 10 minutes of the movie, and the rest of it was the whole Clarence not being born thing. So I was surprised how long that was and how short the ending was.
Yeah, it was kind of a surprise to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're well over an hour into the movie before we get to the current day of Christmas Eve.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah,
crazy.
I will say, and maybe I'm growing a little bit, but this movie actually moved me. I actually felt something.
Oh my God. See, so did I. And it really crept up on me, right? Through 2 hours of this fucking film, nothing. I'm thinking, oh, it's not bad, blah, blah, blah. We'll get into it. And then at the end, when he's running through the streets and he's at home and the people coming, yeah.
The moment he sees his kids.
Well, yeah, it's the whole bit. It's the whole scene for me. And again, it just crept up on me. I was watching it and all of a sudden my eyes were leaking and I had no idea what the fuck was going on. It's crazy. Do you still get teared up after 40,000 times?
Yeah, As a matter of fact, I found myself tearing up in earlier scenes where I don't remember doing that before.
Yeah, well.
Ironically, though, this movie is not part of my Christmas rotation. I have at least 5 movies I like to watch every Christmas, and this is not in the rotation.
I buy that because I don't think this would be in my Christmas rotation.
Well, clearly, because you'd never seen it all the way through before.
Right, but I've already seen it, and now that I've seen it, I don't think I would add it to my Christmas collection.
You want to hear something crazy?
Yes.
Fire away.
I have a Christmas rotation, and I'm thinking about adding it.
That is fucking crazy.
That is crazy.
It's the end of times.
It just might be.
Yeah, holy fucking shit. Okay, real quick, because we don't know a lot about Frank Capra, do we?
Yes, we do.
Oh, we do know a lot about him.
He is a huge director during his time, and him doing this movie, it was, I don't want to say it was considered a throwaway movie, but they didn't think that it was necessarily anything special at the time that they made it. But during this time, he is nominated for this movie for director. He's also nominated for Lady for a Day and Mr. Smith Goes to Washington. He wins 3 directing Oscars for Mr. Deeds Goes to Town, You Can't Take It With You, and It Happened One Night.
Oh, well, look at that. Frank Capra.
He did say, though, this was his favorite movie because it was the closest he ever came to getting his message across of what he felt.
Let's talk about this cast a little bit. James Stewart.
The man.
This is our second
Yes.
James Stewart movie.
What was our first?
Rear Window.
Yes.
Which
You weren't here for.
I was not here for. Oh, that you remember?
Gerard was here.
Yeah. What'd you think of Jimmy?
This is classic Jimmy. Classic Jimmy. You can't help but think of him when you hear the name It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh, absolutely. What'd you think?
I thought he did a great job. This was his first acting role back from the war. And so he didn't even want to take this role, but the guy who played Potter talked him into it, saying, you got to get back back on the horse and you got to do this. And I thought for a guy straight back from the war, do you know what rank he was in the Army?
Colonel.
No, it's the Air Force.
The Air Force, I mean.
Sergeant.
Brigadier General is
Brigadier
what he made it to.
General.
And he was doing bombing runs.
Nice.
And so he had a bit of, of course, it was undiagnosed at that time, but he had PTSD going into making of this movie.
Oh, yeah. Well, there you go. I thought he was great. I can't remember outside of the Hitchcock movies, a lot of Jimmy Stewart movies that I'm familiar with. But watching this, that guy could really act for the time. And I believed a lot of the emotions that were going through it and kind of what George was dealing with. And so he sold me right away.
Well, he said that, again, with the PTSD, being able to get angry and have those outbursts and just shouting really helped him at the time. It was cathartic for him at that time.
Yeah, I can imagine so. Speaking of Potter, Lionel Barrymore. Is that one of the Barrymores, do we know?
I believe so. They have a long history in Hollywood.
Yeah, John Barrymore is Drew Barrymore's father, so I'm wondering if Lionel is John's dad.
Could be.
But they are a long line of family actors in Hollywood.
Who did that character remind you of?
Scrooge.
Yeah, which was on purpose. He was written to be like Scrooge. And in fact, Lionel Barrymore had been done for years a radio version of Ebenezer Scrooge. So he knew the role and he just brought it to this movie.
Spoiler alert, everybody. It's a Wonderful Life is just another twist on Christmas Carol. So
Without the ghosts, but with angels.
that's why I said twist. It's not, I didn't say it was the same thing. It was a twist. So you're going to find a lot of parallels. Donna Reed.
Lovely.
Oh, you know, at first I thought she was the blonde, the one who played Violet.
Oh, uh-huh.
For some reason. Probably because I don't think I've ever seen a Donna Reed movie.
Well, this was her first movie. Her first full acting in a movie role.
Get the fuck out of here, really?
Yep.
She had a couple of roles before.
Wasn't she like on a Donna Reed show?
There was eventually a television series called The Donna Reed Show.
See, I know tidbits, but not much.
Yeah, this is the first one she starred in, as I should say.
I thought she was lovely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, which of the 2 women would you have chosen?
We are live on the broadcast, both, but I don't think I should answer that both. What about you?
Mary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she's lovely.
She had it all. She
Yeah.
was smart.
I got to
she
get
was
to the
fun.
library before it closes.
From now on, for the rest of the show, please be Jimmy Stewart. In fact, it's the comic book guy, me, and Jimmy Stewart. Coming to you from you came down as an angel. I love it. It's
Just
this
channeling
yes,
him.
this is writing itself. I can't wait.
Well, I don't necessarily have good things to say all the way around, though.
I don't know a lot of these other actors, but Bella Bondi, do you know what her connection is to Jimmy Stewart?
She plays his mom in 5 movies.
5 movies. That's crazy.
Well, I mean, yeah, kind of.
I guess a lot
but
of
you
these-
kind of see the same thing today with directors, actors who like to work with each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
And it does happen.
yeah, absolutely. And for this to be made in 1946, there were so many other pop media references that came to mind that clearly borrowed from this film. So watching it in today's lens, you can see where all of it came from. And in this instance, I didn't hate it. So
I have a question for you. You just brought up the point of how this movie has been redone so many times, the style of this movie, with angels coming and showing you what your life would have been like if you hadn't been born and all that. Do you guys have any movies or shows that jump to your mind of where it's been redone?
outside of A Christmas Carol or this,
I have a favorite one that I'm going to bring up.
well, bring it up.
Married with Children. Do you ever see that episode where an angel came and showed him what his life would have been, Al Bundy's life would have been had he not been born?
No.
It turned out everything was better.
Of course it was.
Like everyone was rich, everyone was happy, and everything was better. And the angel was like, "Oh God, I think I failed. I don't think, I didn't show you anything." It was Sam Kinison playing his angel, by the way.
Oh, that's funny.
And he said, I don't think I showed you anything, any reason to live. And Al looked at him and said, I want to live. I want to live more than anything. And he goes, why? He goes, because I want to ruin all of their lives.
Yeah, that makes sense. That fits with the show.
Yeah.
So did either of you watch the colorized version of this?
I pondered it, but I went with the black and white. What about you? Have you seen the colored version?
No. And I will say, fuck that.
No. A purist, eh?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
When I went to pick which version to watch, I didn't even notice at first. The first one that came up for me was a shortened version with commercials. And I thought, what the hell? Why would I pick that when there were so many other free options? So I definitely went with the black and white because I wanted how it was originally done.
I had commercials in mine.
Ooh.
I'm sorry, buddy.
Prime.
Did you guys notice it was in 4:3?
No, I didn't even pay attention to that.
No? Yeah, it was in aspect ratio 4:3, 1946.
So this movie is nominated for 5 Academy Awards: Best Picture, Director, Actor, Film Editing. It did win a Technical Achievement Award for the development of a new method of simulating falling snow on motion pictures. And the reason why they had to come up with something new is because the snow previously is cornflakes, and that's way too loud to be running somebody through. So they came up with this.
Yeah, did you know what mixture they did for that snow? It was actually something called foamite, soap and water, and it was run through a wind machine. And I guess foamite is the same stuff back then that they used in fire extinguishers.
Oh, interesting. I tell you what, the snow effect really sold, and it played. And I think that the black and white kind of helps that, because when he's running through the streets at the end and it's dumping, I believe that it's dumping.
Well, the crazy thing is when he's running through the streets and that snow's coming down, it's really 90 degrees out.
Yeah,
and he was sweating because it was so hot.
Yeah, they filmed it from April to July in L.A.
and if I hadn't read that, I would have never suspected that at all.
Well, I still don't suspect it. I knew that, and I watched it, and I was thinking, oh, that's kind of clever.
I just kept thinking it looked freaking cold.
Yeah, fucking Jimmy Stewart's a good actor. Was a good actor.
So I think it was like around 2005. I think it was in Great Britain. They had and I don't remember the name of the group, but they are of film, and they voted to see the most deserving picture that never won an Academy Award. Number 1, Shawshank Redemption, and number 2, It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh, so dude was nominated as number 1?
Correct.
Ah.
That being that people wished that it would have won.
Sure.
It's a great feel-good movie.
It is, and I did feel good after it. It was a wee bit long, but we'll get into it.
Well, here's the crazy thing, too, is I always thought that Clarence was in more of the movie than he actually was. He was only in the movie for physically for 15 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
So
And not having seen it, I was surprised by that.
but everybody knows who Clarence is. I mean, just that he's that kind of angel guy with the bell.
Well, before last night, if you had mentioned Clarence to me, I'm not sure I would have put that together.
Okay.
So that's just me. Trivia?
But no, if we're going to do trivia, I must insist we do it as Jimmy Stewart.
Really? All right, gentlemen, I have some trivia questions. And hopefully one of you will just sweep because you both stated how much you enjoyed this movie.
Oh, color me intrigued. You ready, buddy?
No, don't color it at all.
Oh, that's right. Black
Keep
and
it
white.
black and white.
Keep it black and white.
Question number 1. At the graduation party in the gym, George and Mary participate in a dance contest. What was the dance?
John, the Charleston.
Correct.
For the loving cup.
I'm going to need you to let him finish the question, please.
Yeah. I was a little premature on that one.
Yes, I know.
When the worried Bailey Building and Loan customers are demanding their money, how much does George tell them he has?
Don, $2,000.
Correct. Question number 3.
Don. No, I'm just kidding.
You are eliminated from this question. Thank you.
When George arrives home on his wedding night, we are shown a sign on the front door. What does it say?
Don, bridal suite.
Point to Don. Question number 4. How much money does Uncle Billy accidentally give to Potter?
John, $8,000.
Point to John. Question number 5. When Clarence introduces himself, what does he say?
Fuck you. Yeah, you got something?
Only thing I know is he's Clarence Oddbody, AS2, Angel Second Class.
Point to John.
Oh, well, there you go.
And this week's winner is John.
It's a Christmas miracle.
Congratulations, comic book guy.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
Enjoy. It
Thank
truly is a wonderful life.
Yeah, thank you for that gift, Don.
You're welcome, buddy. You're welcome. On Christmas Eve, 1945, George Bailey reaches a breaking point and prayers for him rise up to heaven. Clarence Oddbody, an angel second class, is assigned to save George and finally earn his wings. To understand George, Clarence is shown key moments from his life. We see young George rescue his brother Harry from drowning, losing the hearing in his left ear, and later stopping pharmacist Mr. Gower from accidentally poisoning a prescription. As a young man, George dreams of traveling the world and going to college, but when his father dies unexpectedly, George sacrifices those dreams to keep the family business, Bailey Brothers Building and Loan, afloat. The board agrees to keep the company alive only if George runs it, forcing him to hand his college money to Harry instead. George stays behind in Bedford Falls while Harry goes off to school. George reconnects with Mary Hatch, who has loved him since childhood, and the two eventually marry. But even their honeymoon gets sidelined when a run on the bank threatens the building and loan, and George uses their savings to keep the business open. So this movie starts off very kind of traditionally, really.
I love the big RKO logo and everything. It made me feel that old kind of style feeling.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And then also with the book turning, right? And we get the credits via the book.
Yeah.
Yeah. Reminded me of a lot of fairy tale movies that we see today. And like I was saying earlier, you can see a lot of influences from this movie to other movies, and this style of opening, I would think, is definitely one of them. Not to say that they didn't do this early on back with Errol Flynn. I'm just saying this was a popular style at the time. And so we're shown Bedford
Falls.
Thank you. And the sign says,
Welcome to.
I thought it says you are now in Bedford Halls.
It does. That's right. That is correct.
Because that is the filmmakers telling us where we are at this moment, which, clever, okay? And then, like you were saying, we start hearing all these prayers, right? Please help my daddy. Please help George. He's a good dude. And the camera kind of pans up because we're following the prayers to the solar system?
Yeah, it was like 3 or 4 galaxies or something. And they're talking.
I thought it was a very interesting way to portray, I guess, heaven at the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, all of these stars talking and nothing's moving.
Well,
it's kind of like a still frame, but every time one of them talks, it glows.
Yeah, they were doing the whole freeze frame thing, but I liked how the angels with the wings were like these galaxies, and when they call Clarence in, he's just this one little star that comes up.
And we are told that this human down in Bedford Falls needs some help.
Yeah, he's getting a lot of prayers.
So let's send the most unqualified angel to go help this guy out. Why hasn't Clarence gotten his wings? It's been 200 fucking years. Are you telling me that every time he... You know what? It's not important. What's important is Clarence is assigned to save George.
Yeah, now that you bring it up, I'd like to know about his failures.
Oh, I don't know if that might be depressing. But in order to save George, we have to get to know George. And so thus starts our journey back into George's life, which, again, for me, this is the first time. This is all new to me. So I kind of like where we're going here, right? So we cut to Bedford Falls. George is a boy.
Yeah, and they're sledding on a hill using a shovel or snow shovel.
Yeah, that's pretty clever.
Yeah, I thought so too. And we get this moment where George's little brother, Harry, gets on the shovel and he slides
Too far, and he goes into the drink.
I like what I first noticed is as soon as the kid falls into the water, he stops. It's like he hits something and it's keeping him up, right? They didn't cut away fast enough for me to believe that he went in. But continuity are constant all over this film.
Oh, yeah.
But it doesn't take me out of it. Doesn't bother me. It kind of adds to the nostalgia of it, you know, the time period of when it was made and all that. And so we see George,
Without hesitation,
go in and save his brother, because, I mean, that's what brothers would do, I would think. But while he's doing it, fucks up his ear.
Well, he gets a terrible cold, and the cold leads to him losing his hearing in his left ear.
Right, but he got it because he went into the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Then
he's deaf.
Then we see him at the pharmacy, grocery store, if you will. They have an ice cream counter. And we get to meet Violet and Mary for the first time.
I love, Mary's interaction of bending down and says, "This your deaf ear? I'll love you till the day I die, George."
And then we meet Mr. Gower. And we are told that Mr. Gower's son has recently passed away from the war.
Well, we see that in the letter that he gets, or the telegraph.
Right.
Well, he's not in the war. He's at college.
And he dies of influenza.
Yes.
Oh, for fuck's sakes, what was I watching?
I don't know. But it was a rampant problem during World War I that they lost like millions, like 20, 30 million people from influenza.
And so Mr. Gower's son is dead, and he's having a rough time, and he's not doing so great being the pharmacist. And I wasn't quite sure what this guy really was at first.
Well, did you know he was drunk in real life during that scene?
No.
Yeah, he was really drunk. He had a history, I guess, of being drunk on sets. And when he goes to slap George, he really did slap him. Slapped him so hard, caused his ear bleed. That was real.
Yeah, I watched it. That did not look like a fake hit. It did not look like the camera cut. Fucking child abuse. 1946. You guys got to witness child abuse at its finest.
Yeah, and basically this was because he sees Mr. Gower accidentally put poison in the prescription that he's having him deliver. And so he first tries to go tell his dad about it and can't get attention from his dad. So he tries to tell some other people, comes back, and Mr. Gower's like, "Why didn't you deliver it?" And because he didn't deliver it, slapped him like 3 or 4 times.
And during this time, we first meet Mr. Potter.
Oh, yes.
And he's in there railroading Dad.
Did you like how George came to his dad's aid and said, "Fuck off, Mr. Potter"?
Yeah, I did. I mean, it probably didn't help George's dad at all, but, got to give it to the kid.
And now we flash forward to a grown-up George.
And he's at the store. Again, he's buying some luggage because he's leaving town.
He's what?
He's going to go see the world.
20-something at this point?
I'm
23, I think.
I'm not sure. But we find out that the luggage that he wants was already paid for by Mr. Goyer. So, I mean, thanks, buddy.
Yeah, well, guy owed him a lot because he would have been in jail.
Well, yeah, and he beat the shit out of him.
Mhm.
So, there's that.
We go home that night and we sit down for some dinner conversation with Dad. And Dad is like, maybe when you come back from college, you can kind of sort of take things over. And more or less, George kind of sort of is like, well, I don't know. I don't want to do that.
I want to travel the world. I want to go to college. I want to get out of Bedford Falls. And then finally his dad's kind of like, you know what? You're right. Harry can go to college and he can come back and run the shop. You go see the world.
Yeah, this whole movie, one of the ongoing themes is George wants to accomplish something with this life. He wants to have these great achievements and go out and see the world and everything. And what he doesn't realize that, when he wants all these achievements, he doesn't look behind and see all the things he's accomplished.
And so we cut to Harry's party, and it's at a high school, I think.
It's in the gym.
And this is where George meets Mary.
And they are definitely having googly eyes with each other. They are very enamored.
Yes, very much so. And the guy who Mary's actually talking to kind of gets all butthurt and is like, oh, if you don't like me, I'm going to fuck him up. And so what does he do? Him and this other dude, and this scene blew my mind, okay? They have a swimming pool underneath the basketball court.
That was a real thing. That was a real thing back then.
Insane. Absolutely insane. And so they're doing the Charleston, and this bit kind of reminded me of Grease.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, see? So Grease pulled it from It's a Wonderful Life. And they take the key, they open the thing up. How does nobody know that the floor is opening and they're still dancing?
Well, that's what I thought was so funny is that how many times they had the close calls and all the other audiences like, ooh, not one of them said, hey, the floor is open.
Yeah, not one of them warned them. Assholes, right? But we needed this comedic moment for when Jimmy and Mary fall into the water, and then they kind of look at each other, and the two dickheads were really expecting them to be all kinds of pissed and,
They're still
embarrassed or whatever.
Trying to dance.
Yeah, they're still trying to dance. I thought that was really
What do
cute.
you think of everyone else joining them in the pool?
Hey,
It's a party.
that's right.
It's a Wonderful Life.
Smoke them if you got them. That's what I say. And then we cut to after the party, and they're walking home.
It's a little romantic walk home.
But she's in a bathrobe carrying her wet clothes.
And he is in this football getup.
That doesn't fit him.
And they're having this conversation. And they come across this house, right? And it looks broken down. It looks like the fucking house from Nightmare on Elm Street. But I'm just saying.
I was thinking maybe it.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah, that's a good reference.
I thought Addams Family.
Oh, okay. Another good one. Either way, it doesn't really belong in a Christmas movie. but to each his own.
Apparently, it's good luck or it's a wish thing to break the windows.
Yeah.
And Mary doesn't want to do it at first, but, because, George does it and gets his, makes his wish. She's got to throw it and make her wish.
And she doesn't tell him. She doesn't tell him what that wish is. But
Well,
we all know what it is.
She doesn't tell him right away.
Well, the interesting thing is they actually brought in someone else to throw for her because they didn't think she would be able to actually get it to the house. But she had actually played baseball, I guess, in high school or something.
And she did. She fucking nailed it, right?
Yeah, she was just, amazing with her arm.
Yeah, I bet she was.
Got it on the first take, I believe.
And so suddenly, Uncle Billy shows up and, hey, it's your dad. Gotta go.
Yeah.
Well, before that, we also have that kind of famous line, I think, that has been imitated in a lot of movies is, do you want the moon? I'll throw a lasso around the moon and pull it to you or whatever. Yep.
This is that bit. And
wasn't it? I heard it in Bruce Almighty. I think they did it.
Yeah, Bruce Almighty. They did it for sure. And then during this whole conversation, he steps on her robe, and was she naked in the bushes?
Yes.
Was that what we were supposed to imply?
I assume she was in her underwear, but maybe she was naked.
Huh. He kind of toys with that a little bit, doesn't he?
He does.
He was having a little fun with it.
As he should.
Oh, that's an okay thing to do?
I kept thinking, was that sticker bushes or poison ivy? Or
for some reason, I thought she was in a bathing suit. But anyways, I digress. And so, Uncle Billy shows up, says, it's your pa, George.
Had a stroke.
And so they rush off, and Pops dies.
Yeah, we are now sitting around a conference table at the Bailey Building and Loan, and we are told that George has been dealing with his father's affairs of the business for the last couple of months.
It's actually 3 months, which I wrote down because I thought it was interesting. Did you notice how many times the number 3 comes up in this movie?
Nope.
3 was on his jersey that he was wearing. He got slapped 3 times by Mr. Gower. His father had been dead for 3 months.
Wow, this is just like The Matrix.
Then when he's talking about one of his things he wants to travel later on, he says there's 3 greatest sounds in the world. He talks about that. And when he gets married, the toast that they give him is bread, salt, and wine, another number 3. So I just thought it was interesting how many times 3 comes up in this movie.
Curious.
Well, they do say it's the magic number. And so during this board meeting or whatever it is, George is on his way out. He wants to leave. He's going on his trip before he goes to college. And Mr. Potter wants to take over.
He wants to dissolve the business.
Right. And everyone's like, no, no. And then George gives this passionate speech. And after this passionate speech, he says, all right, I'm out. Peace. And he leaves. And then I forget who comes in, wrangles him back in, but he says, hey, we've agreed that, what is it? Mr. Potter won't take over if you run it, but if you don't run it, Mr. Potter's going to take it over.
Yep.
And so what kind of choice is that? You know what I mean?
Lousy.
Hey, you're the oldest of the sons. Your father just died. I'm sure you feel tons of guilt about something. Of course you stay, right?
Yep. And he takes his money that he was going to use for travel and everything to send his brother to college.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So Harry goes, and now it's 4 years later, and we are waiting for Harry to return home.
Because he is going to take over the business. And George is finally going to get to go to college. And he can't wait. He's all on pins and needles.
He's gonna finally be free of Bedford Falls.
He's also a month late even to get into college. So he's excited to actually get going.
And so the train pulls up. Harry gets off. But Harry's not alone. Harry got married.
All I kept thinking was, dick move, Harry. Dick move. You knew your brother wanted to go to college, but he did say, he said, you know what? I had this job offer, but I'm going to stay home and I'm going to take care of the business so you can go and do your thing.
Who said that?
Harry said that to George.
No, Harry went to Detroit.
Well, Harry got off the plane or off the train. He said this
initially when Uncle Billy and what's her name, Ruth, they walk ahead. And so Harry says to George, I haven't said yes to the job yet. And I can stay. So he does offer initially.
No, but he doesn't. He doesn't stay.
No, because George tells him, or he talks to Ruth and he says, is it a good job? Is it a high paying job?
It's not a high paying job, but it has a lot of potential and Harry's going to be really good at it.
Yeah. So he's like, okay. And it was in research, I believe, is what he's going to be doing.
And so now George has to stay in Bedford Falls a little while longer.
And so there's a celebration at the house that night, and we have George. He's outside the house, and it's like, well, everybody's having a good time, but, he's depressed about it.
He's kind of pissy. He's pissed off.
Yeah.
And so he goes for a walk.
So before he goes for a walk, there's a delightful moment that takes place. It's when Uncle Billy comes out and he's clearly 3 sheets to the wind, and he sends him off walking home. Mm-hmm. And that huge clamoring that we hear actually took place offset. It was a couple of studio hands, and they dropped their shit, and it was this cacophony of noise that takes place. That was the actual accident itself.
Uncle Billy ad-libbed the next line.
Yes, and Uncle Billy ad-libbed the bit, I'm fine.
And that's, we get an actual reaction from Jimmy Stewart when he laughed.
Yeah, awesome. I bought it.
So he heads downtown. He happens into Violet again.
And Violet, she's like, yeah, okay, we can go somewhere. But then he comes up with, this kind of kooky, let's go do all these things.
Yeah, basically, he wants them to go on an adventure where she's going to take her shoes off, run across the grass. They're going to go climb a little mountain, have a picnic, whatever.
And she's like, take my shoes off. What the fuck?
Yeah, she is not an adventure girl.
What I found odd was while they're having this conversation, they attracted a bunch of onlookers.
They sure did.
Did you notice that?
Well, everybody, I think, was kind of hanging around her.
Oh, I thought it was a little weird. That's all I'm saying.
The interesting thing is he'd been told, I think was at the party, that Mary was back in town and he should go see Mary.
His mother's like, you should go see Mary.
And he's like, I don't want to go see her. She's got a girlfriend or a boyfriend back in New York. I think she's dating Sam.
Mm-hmm.
But he manages to find himself over that way anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the scene where he is at the house and Mary's looking out there and she goes, George, I knew you were coming. Your mom called me and told me you might be stopping by.
But what'd you think of him coming in just kind of being a dick? I mean, sure, he was pissed
total
off,
jerk.
but he was being a real jerk to the point where she pulls out that record for that song that they had sung when they were walking home from the Charleston dance, and he didn't even want to sing. He didn't want to have anything to do with it, to the point she breaks the record. That was kind of heartbreaking.
Yeah, I suppose. And but finally,
so Sam calls and Mother's like, answer the phone.
Yeah, because Mom obviously wants her to end up with Sam.
And Mary's like, hi, Sam. And Sam's like, what are you doing? And she's like, well, George is here. And he's all, oh, George Bailey, let me talk to him.
Forgot my hat.
And so Bailey comes back and they both get on the phone type of a deal. And the way they kept looking at each other, I was thinking, all right, here it goes. Well, they're going to do it.
I guess the director one of the styles that he does in his movies that he made was he liked to keep things live and keep things easy. So while they were filming, that half of the phone call, they were filming at the same time the other half of the phone call. So they were actually having a conversation right at that moment. So it wasn't like they cut and filmed it separately.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is where we get, I don't know, George kind of being a little dickish with her, right? I mean, he shakes her and he says, I don't want to do this and I don't ever want to get married. But if you kiss me, then all bets are off. And they kiss and they get married.
He did not want to do that scene because he was afraid after everything that happened with the war and all that it wouldn't look good. But he was talked into it. He did it anyway. And I believe it was the first take they went with.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the kiss had to be toned down for the people, the critics,
the censors. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, too much tongue.
Oh, apparently they got pretty hot and heavy.
So next thing you know, we see them coming out of the house and they're all married and they're taking off for their honeymoon.
Yeah. They collected $2,000 in the kitty. So they have all this money. And back then, $2,000 was an impressive amount of money.
And so as they're getting ready to go, George sees something happening at the bank.
Yeah, Ernie points out, I think that's a run-on.
And he has to go check it out. And when he gets in there, it is a run-on. And all these people are afraid that they're going to lose all their money.
I think this was around the time the Great Depression happened. Is that correct?
Yes.
That's why there was a run on the bank?
Mm-hmm.
And as it turns out, George says, hey, I got $2,000. I can give you some money now and then some money later.
Well, the nice thing was at first, Mary didn't want him to get out of the car and didn't want him to go do anything. She follows him into the Bailey Building and Loan. She's kind of in the background. And when George is trying to talk to everyone, she's the one that brings up the $2,000 and says, we have this money. And he grabs it and he's like, yeah, I have $2,000. I can help you guys out. What do you want?
Yeah, she saves the day.
I want my $243.
Oh, come on, Benny. Can't I just give you a little bit?
The actress that comes when he's asking the different amounts and the actress that says $17.50, the director had told her when she was walking up, she was originally supposed to ask for $17. And he told her, just make up a number. Just, give him any odd number. So some reason she came up with $17.50. And so Stewart's reaction to that was genuine. He wasn't expecting that specific amount.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we get to the end of the day, make it to 6 o'clock, and they still have $2.
Yeah, Potter had offered basically people that he was going to pay them, 10 cents on
50,
a dollar?
50 cents on the dollar.
50, basically, so they would get half their money back, and he would have cleaned up and basically put, that loan business out of business.
Oh, yeah.
And so by making it to 6 o'clock, they kept it alive and actually helped everybody.
Under George's leadership, the Building and Loan builds Bailey Park, a thriving housing development that gives working families a chance to escape Mr. Potter's slums. Potter, who owns most of Bedford Falls, despises George's generosity and tries to lure him away with an impressive job offer. George refuses once he realizes Potter's real plan is to shut down the Building and Loan entirely. Years pass, and on Christmas Eve, the town prepares to honor Harry, now a decorated Navy pilot and Medal of Honor recipient. That same day, Uncle Billy accidentally misplaces $8,000 while depositing the company's funds, money that ends up in Potter's hands. With a bank examiner reviewing their books, the loss threatens scandal, bankruptcy, and prison. Desperate, George begs Potter for a loan using his life insurance as collateral. Instead, Potter sneers that George is worth more dead than alive and calls the police. Overwhelmed, George stumbles to a bar, prays for help, and ends up on a bridge contemplating suicide.
So before the time jump, I thought we get one of the cutest scenes in the movie, which is George, when he finishes the evening and they close shop, he goes to try to find Mary, and so he's picked up in the taxi and driven to that house that they threw the rocks in. And they have cleverly, turned it into kind of an adventure travel thing, bed and breakfast for him. That was really, really cute. It was a kind of a cute thing, even though you had all the water coming down. And what'd you think of that scene?
I thought it drove me nuts. All that rain, I would have fucking lost it.
But it was their wedding night, so it was kind of cute. It was a memory.
Yeah, you can say what you want. The rain would have fucking drove me nuts.
Didn't you find the moment sort of funny when he's greeted at the front door by his friend and he has the top hat and he leans back and the top hat goes up a little bit and then George leans forward a little bit and all the water splashes onto the guy's hand?
Oh, no, would have drove me nuts. I don't like rain. Did you notice the names of his two buddies?
Yes.
Bert and Ernie?
Yep.
Which I guess an urban legend is that's who Sesame Street are named after, but they have since debunked that.
Oh, there you go. There you go. And so, yeah, we get this touching scene with Mary giving George a honeymoon that they couldn't have by you being resourceful. And she buys the house at this point, right? Or they bought the house?
I'm sure they got it for a steal since it was just a derelict house.
Yeah, because, as time passes on, we see her, and not really him, but we see her fixing it up. Mm-hmm. And so that will become their house one day.
Another fun scene that we get is before they make this Bailey's Park, there was a place called, I think it was Potter's Village or something like that. Potter's Village. And I don't know if you know, but back then, a potter was considered, basically Potter type establishment was considered where all the poor people lived. And so that's kind of the idea is now here is George Bailey building a place that people can afford with nice houses. And we get to see Mr. Martini moving up into one of these new houses.
Yeah, that's where we get to see Bailey Park. And then we have that so little moment where we have Sam show up in his limousine. Hey, you should come vacation with us.
Yeah, before that, I completely forgot about it. Sam had, on that phone call, I think had encouraged him to invest in this soybean plastic company that him and his father were setting up. And George right away says, well, we got a factory here. You can just do the factory here, which I'm sure created a bunch of jobs for everybody, which was great. Another thing he had done for people. But if George had invested in that, he probably would have become rich, or gone and worked for him. He would have become very rich. But instead, again, he chose to help the town.
Yep.
And then we get some montages and the passage of time.
Yeah, it's our first montage.
And then Potter wants to talk to George, and he offers him a job.
Basically, Potter is he's been told by his, I think, land developer or whoever that guy was.
He collects the rents.
Yeah, that Potter's Field is going to basically lose all of its tenants because George is basically giving away houses almost.
Yeah, and Potter can't have that.
No skin off my nose.
And so
decides to woo him.
And I thought when he offered the occasional trip to Europe, I thought that would have satisfied George's need for adventure.
Well, George looked like he was pretty close to taking it.
Maybe he was like 10 seconds away from, taking that job.
That salary, $20,000 a year for 3 years, $20,000, that'd be like $350,000.
Yeah. So George is a very rich man.
Stupid money.
And then he remembered he fucking hates this guy.
And by working with him, it would go against everything him and his dad and his uncle stood for. So George says, no, dude, I'm not going to work for you. So fuck off.
And reminds him that everybody hates him.
That's right.
And then we have the montage that happens, and there's babies and the house fixing and World War II. And then we get a brief snippet of all the fellow friends of George at the war. But George, he fought the Battle of Bedford Falls.
Yeah, he wasn't able to go because of his ear.
Right.
But his brother became highly decorated and got the Congressional Medal of Honor from Eisenhower.
And so from here, we are brought up to the current day of December 24th, 1945. And we're almost an hour 20 into the movie to get us to current time, if you will.
Yeah. Like I said, ran a bit long for me.
Yep.
But
and then he gives Uncle Bailey, or someone gives Uncle Billy, the money to go deposit at the bank.
And the bank examiner shows up in the meantime. And George, he has all these newspapers he's handing out, so he's feeling pretty darn good.
that's right. His baby brother's coming home, winner of the Congressional Medal of Honor. And the town's getting ready for him. And like you said, in the meantime, Uncle Billy is making a deposit.
Did you guys notice at the building and loan, there was that raven that was always there?
Yes.
I guess that was supposed to be Uncle Billy's pet. That raven apparently has been in like 1,000 movies, including Wizard of Oz.
Oh, well, there you go.
So very famous raven. So anyway, Billy shows up at the bank and he's got the money and everything, and he runs into Potter.
And he starts running his mouth about Harry.
And I think I saw this coming, but Bailey puts the money in a newspaper, or kind of wraps it in a newspaper.
Yeah, he takes the newspaper from Potter and he's going on about Harry. Then when he gives it back, when he folds it, he puts the envelope of money.
I didn't see that the first time. So Nana was watching it with me and she's like, yeah, you just gave him the money. And I was like, wait, what? So I had to rewind it to actually see the envelope show up in that newspaper.
Yeah, that's what happens. And then Uncle Billy goes to make the deposit, and the guy's like, okay, where's the money? And Uncle Billy's like, uh-oh.
Potter, in the meantime, we are shown, has just found the money, and he asks to be taken to the door, and he sees Uncle Billy frantically going through the garbage bin and checking his pockets.
I looked it up, and I believe $8,000 back then would be about $100,000 now. So it was pretty serious.
Yeah, absolutely. And so Uncle Billy keeps looking and looking, can't find it.
And then we are back with George, and Violet shows up, and she's going to be leaving Bedford Falls. She's headed off to New York. So
Doesn't he give her some money?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a loan.
Yeah, that's right. Every time he gives money. No, it's a loan. It's a loan. Just showing what kind of guy he is.
And then Uncle Billy comes back, and boy, oh boy, now the shit has hit the fan.
I thought George was going to have his first violent scene here. I thought he was going to beat the crap out of Billy. He was so pissed off.
Yeah, he got a little temper, that George Bailey.
Mm-hmm.
He even goes home and takes it out on his wife and kids.
Yeah, that night at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he basically is told, or he says, we could go to jail for this.
Yeah, because it's like tax fraud or something.
I'm not going to jail. That's what George says.
That tells him Billy. And Billy starts crying, that was kind of heartbreaking to see him cry.
But he has a little squirrel on his shoulder.
Yeah.
Yeah, to make him feel better. And I mean,
Well, that could have
yeah,
been.
it's heartbreaking, but Billy is the one that lost the fucking money.
I figured the squirrel was Christmas dinner later.
I don't think it had gotten that desperate yet,
Okay.
but you never know.
Yeah, so he heads home and he has a really lousy night with the family.
Treats the kids like shit.
Yeah, he does.
He tells the one girl to quit playing the fucking piano. It's driving him nuts. One of his sons is asking him a bunch of questions, and he's
spell
like, "Ask your mother, you motherfucker."
How do you spell Frankenstein? And
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Oh yeah, hallelujah, Dad. How do you spell hallelujah?
And then he goes up to talk to
up your ass.
his sick daughter,
Little
Zuzu,
Zuzu.
which I thought was interesting because Zuzu Petals. Do you think it was named after her?
It was named after her.
Zuzu
the
pedal?
Zuzu pedal.
Yeah.
no,
Or was she named after the Zuzu pedal?
I didn't pay any attention. What I thought was weird was you had Janice, Tommy, Pete, and then Zuzu. Was that like Pazuzu?
I don't know.
Is that the possessed one?
Yeah.
I know where you're going with that.
Yeah, kind of a weird left turn on names.
And I thought her hair was amazing. Little curls and everything. That was
How could
so
you tell it
cute.
was in black and white?
It was just very cute. Little curls and everything. And just the fact that she had been sleeping all night or whatever, and she had perfect little curls.
Yeah, you worry me a little bit, bud. I think you're taking too much of an interest.
Little Zuzu. That little bitch. I caught that girl. She was stealing money out of my wallet for what? Cigarettes? Gave her a firm hand. Cute my ass.
But no, she gives Dad some petals, which is going to come back.
Yeah, but he was at least nice to her.
Well, she was sick.
Treated the rest of the kids, but he was pissed off about the teacher. Did you like the whole thing about getting on the phone with the teacher and making the teacher cry?
Well, let me tell you something, mister. No, is that bad? That was horrible, right? Fuck, this guy can't even fucking keep a straight face.
Yeah.
George goes off on the teacher, and then the teacher's husband gets on the phone call.
Which
and,
sets up for what's going to happen down the road here.
which I thought was kind of funny because I didn't expect this.
yeah.
So George leaves, right? He's all pissed off. And what
But-
do you do when you are pissed off?
You
Go drink.
You go drink.
He goes and talks to Potter.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and he begs Potter and basically says, I need a loan and I'll use my life insurance as collateral.
And I thought this was an interesting choice because after all of his speeches, after all of his poise, he actually ends up going to Potter. And if Potter had said yes, he would have accepted. So that's how desperate this man has actually become.
Yeah, he even says, I
What
will
threw me
give you anything.
was Potter says no. Potter says, go fuck yourself.
Well,
I didn't see that coming.
Well, he brings up, he says, you said all these bad things about me, so now I'm going to fuck with you.
Yeah, he said no.
And he even says to him, you're talking about the life insurance. He goes, you're worth more dead than alive, which unfortunately puts the idea in George Bailey's head. My thought was, why didn't he talk to his rich friend Sam?
Sam is brought up. He's in Europe and I can't reach him.
Oh, I missed that part.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
he does, because that was my first thought too. And when they say that, you can kind of see the panic in George's eyes when he hears that,
And the make examiner is still here waiting.
yeah. And
And then Potter basically says, by the time you leave this office, there'll be a warrant out for your arrest and the press will be waiting for you.
and that kind of freaks George out. So,
Then he goes to the bar.
Then he goes to martinis.
and naturally starts drinking, right? And I like how after he's done, when he's leaving, he's driving.
Well, before that,
Driving at its finest.
I thought it was so funny. He's in the bar and someone's talking to him and they say, George. And he goes, wait, you hear it in the background. George? George is here?
Bailey.
Or Bailey? Yes.
Yeah. Which Bailey? George Bailey. Bam! Knocks him the fuck out.
The teacher's husband. That's where he comes back.
Yep. And then George gets in a car accident because, drinking and driving's cool.
He hits the oldest tree, I guess, in the town.
And doesn't he take a chunk out of it or something?
He scuffs it up or something.
Yeah, something like that. And so he walks over to the bridge and he is standing on the bridge. And periodically, we forgot to mention, we flash back up to heaven or space and we get a little bit of narration from Clarence and God, I guess. It was Joseph was one of the names, maybe.
Well, right in the beginning of the movie, we were foreshadowed that at 10:45 p.m. on this specific day, George is going to lose faith and give up. And so now we are at that point. We are at the 10:45 on the bridge.
Yeah, yeah.
And so we're almost not quite an hour 40 into the movie, and we meet Clarence for the first time.
And at this point, I'm thinking, there's no way there's only 15 minutes left of this movie. Not with from what I thought I remembered of what the ending was and how much we had to go through. But sure as shit, that's how it turned out. Before George can jump, Clarence throws himself into the river, forcing George to save him. When George wishes he was never born, Clarence grants the wish and shows him an alternate reality. Bedford Falls has become Pottersville, a hard, sleazy town without George's kindness to shape it. George discovers the grim consequences of his absence. Mr. Gower went to prison for poisoning a child. Uncle Billy was institutionalized after the building and loans collapsed. His mother doesn't recognize him, and Bailey Park is now a cemetery. George finds Harry's grave because without George, Harry drowned as a child, and the troops Harry saved during the war also died. Worst of all, Mary never married and worked as a timid librarian who doesn't know him. Terrified, George begs for his life back. His wish is granted, and he races home ready to face arrest. But Mary and Uncle Billy have rallied the entire town, who show up to donate far more than the missing money. Harry arrives to toast George as the richest man in town. Among the gifts, George finds a copy of Tom Sawyer from Clarence, inscribed with, "Remember, no man is a failure who has friends. Thanks for the wings." As the family celebrates, a bell rings on the Christmas tree. Little Zuzu explains that means an angel has earned its wings, and George joyfully realizes Clarence has finally got his. Roll credits. So yeah, George is on the bridge, right? He's gonna fucking throw it all away.
Well, he's not. I felt like he wasn't trying just to commit suicide, but he realized if he does kill himself, then the insurance money will cover everything and help the town.
Right. So I think he wants to kill himself.
Yeah.
And before he can do it, an interesting diversion, I thought. Clarence jumps in the fucking river. And so what does George do? Jumps in to save Clarence. My question is, how the fuck do they not both die of hypothermia? Okay, Clarence, I get, he's an angel. But how does George not die from hypothermia?
Well, my thought was he was going to jump off the bridge to kill himself, yet he could easily jump off it to save the other guy.
He dove off that motherfucker head first. So
I think it every time that I see it.
So I'm glad we're not the only ones. But yeah, he saves Clarence. They end up in like a booth or like a control room type of thing on the bridge.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a drawbridge.
Because the dude has that little change dispenser.
Yep.
Remember those? And I like how Clarence doesn't have to fake anything or lie about anything. He just comes out and says, "I'm your guardian angel." And George is like, yeah, sure you are. Sure you are, buddy.
And
no, that's not good.
I liked how that little toll guy, little bridge guy was like, "I'm getting the hell out of here."
He couldn't believe his fucking ears, right?
He just leaves his job. And I liked how Clarence pointed out that the long john underwear or whatever he was wearing was what he was buried in.
Oh, that's right. He does.
It's a birthday gift from my wife.
That's right.
As a matter of fact, I was buried in it.
And so George kind of plays along. He's like, "All right, you're a fucking angel,
Old
blah, blah,
kooky
blah."
guy. And I love how Clarence kept saying was, "Yo, you didn't save me. I saved you." And he was trying to explain, by jumping in, I knew you'd save me. So really, I was saving you.
Yeah.
And he's seriously perplexed. Why do you know all this stuff about me? How do you know that?
Well, because I've been watching you, George.
Yeah. I've been watching you close. I know everything about you.
Everything.
Everything? And so George finally says what any normal person would say. "You want a drink? Let's go get a drink, Angel." And so they go to...
But he also says the pivotal thing. I wish I'd never been born.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Which I thought was funny because he says that and he says, "Your wish has been granted. You never existed." And the snow in the background stops.
Yep.
Which I thought him not being born controlled the weather.
No, I didn't take it like that. I just took it like it changed. Something has changed.
That's exactly how I took it as well.
It was a nice effect, though, that when the wish started, the snow stopped, and we know that the wish ended when the snow starts up again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. He says, I wish I'd never been born. And poof, you've never been born. And so they start walking around, and they first walk to get his car, but it's not there. But he swears he fucking crashed the car, and he's talking to the dude, and the dude's like, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, and there's not even a mark on the tree.
And there's no car. So get out of here, you drunk. And so they go to Nick's. It's supposed to be Martini's.
Yep.
But it's not.
I thought it was Tony's now or something like that. Or was it Nick's?
It's
Maybe you're
Nick's.
right. Nick's,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I know I'm right. And he's sitting at the bar, and he's having a drink, and he's talking to Nick like he still knows him, the bartender.
And Nick's pretty pissed that Clarence won't order a drink.
Yeah, or a normal drink, if that, right? And finally, Nick's like, dude, why are you talking to me like I know you? I have no idea who you are. I have no idea where you come from. Who the fuck are you, right? And then we see Mr. Gower come in, and the whole bar's like, get out of here, you fucking drunk. And Bailey's like, dude, what the fuck? That's Mr. Gower. And they're like, no, he poisoned a kid when he was a pharmacist.
Yeah, and he went to jail for many years.
Yeah. And so George starts to think, what the fuck is going on? And then Clarence keeps trying to tell him, you wished you weren't born, dude. This is what happens.
Yeah, you never existed. Because when he gets outside the bar, when they get thrown out, he's like going to look for his ID and then all of his information, his wallet, it's all gone.
And so now they start walking through town, right?
And it looks very different.
It's Pottersville.
What it remind you of?
It reminded me of Back to the Future 2, where basically Biff had won and everything would look like Vegas, basically.
Yeah. And so as I'm watching this, I'm like, oh, Back to the Future took it from this as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, he's walking through Pottersville. It's not Bedford Falls.
It looked more fun to me.
Yeah, I'm sure it did.
10-cent dances. Yeah, heck yeah.
And he still can't believe what's going on. And he's kind of freaking out. And he says, Mary, where's Mary? Is that better?
No.
God damn it.
And basically, Clarence doesn't want to tell him because he's not allowed to tell him or something. And George gets a little handy with him, a little physical. And basically, Clarence finally tells him.
Mary is an old maid. She never married. It made her ugly. And now she's a librarian.
Well, I thought it was funny because when they go to that little bridal suite, he basically asks her, why'd you marry me? And she goes, so I didn't become an old maid.
Well, there you go.
And now she has become an old maid.
Which I have a problem with as well. Okay. Mary's good looking. She had a suitor in Sam. You're telling me if George had never been born, she had never had a boyfriend?
She basically was put on earth to love one man.
But he was never born.
Yeah, and because of that, she never got married.
I don't buy it.
That was
I think it's
love.
No, it wasn't. It was pure bad writing. Which also brings me to when George goes to the cemetery, he sees Harry's headstone. Well, George, you weren't there to save him. Okay, so because George was never born, Harry's friends were George's friends? And how come, was it predestined that they were going to go sledding that day? George had no say on that. He didn't wake up in the morning and go, hey, Harry, me and my buddies go sledding.
Well, I didn't think that so much because I thought, well, Harry could have had similar friends, similar guys he hung out with. Here's my thought. How many kids were at that thing at the time? There was 6 or 7 kids all kind of hovering around.
Well, five if you take away George.
Yeah, not one of them jumped in to save little Harry.
Yeah.
George was the only one with balls enough to go save his kid brother.
Yeah. And now that Harry didn't survive, that means the troops didn't survive. So that
Every
bombing,
troop on that transport died.
Yeah, well, so it's the butterfly effect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Only this time we didn't get Ashton Kutcher to walk us through it. But we're told all of these things happen, and George is like, no, this fucking sucks. I want it back.
Well,
I want to take it back.
So I like the bit when he finally confronts Mary, and he's making her scared. And so Bert shows up, and what the heck? This guy's running away. I'm going to shoot at him.
Oh, yeah, he fires.
who did Librarian Mary remind you of?
Who did,
Timid Mary.
What's her name from Ghostbusters?
Adrian! I thought she reminded me so much of Adrian, the first Adrian from Rocky, that she was so timid, shy, didn't want to talk, was trying to kind of run away.
Maybe I can see the parallels a little bit. And so, yeah, he he advances himself on Mary, and she's like, "Get the fuck off me!" And then Bert shoots, and he's running, and this is where he runs back to Clarence.
Well, this is my crazy thing: is Bert just starts shooting randomly at him through the town. Kind of could have hit anybody in the town. I just thought that was a little crazy.
Different times.
Doesn't make it right, and none of it's real anyway. This is all in George's vision or moment.
Well, it was. George did kind of punch him, so I guess it explains why he just would shoot randomly throughout the town at him.
Yeah, well, there you go. Asked and answered, Your Honor. And so George runs back to Clarence and says, "I want to take it back. I want to take it all back."
He runs to the bridge and can't find Clarence. And that's when he starts doing that impassioned plea of, "I want to live again. I want to live again."
And then it starts snowing.
It starts snowing.
And so that tells us, the audience, oh, he's back.
And of course, here comes policeman Bert, or was it Ernie?
It was Bert.
Bert.
Ernie's the taxi driver.
Okay. So policeman Bert drives up and says, "We've been looking all over the place for him." And right away, he calls him George, which shows he now remembers him.
The car's there. The damaged tree's there. He runs through the town.
My lip's bleeding.
It's...
Did it feel a little bit Christmas Carol where he's like, Ebenezer on Christmas Day was so excited to see everything?
Yeah, very much. And so he's running through, and when he makes it home, I like how the bank examiner, the police, and one other dude are waiting for him.
Well, the press are there too.
And his kids are upstairs in their room, and where's the fucking mom? Looking for him. So she left her kids with these four strangers.
It was another time.
Doesn't make it right.
I asked Nana, I said, "Where are the seatbelts in the cars?"
Yeah, she said, we didn't have any cars back then. And so George comes home, and the kids come running down, or he runs upstairs, however you want to look at it. And big hugs all the way around, and then Mary comes home.
Mary's apparently been out talking to people.
And I like how when George comes home, he looks at the examiner dude and goes, "Yes, we're missing money." And he looks at the detective dude or whatever and says, "Yes, that piece of paper is probably a warrant for my arrest, but I don't care. I'm going to go hug my kids." And so he does. And and when Mary comes home is probably the most touching scene in this entire film. The fact that because George was such a good guy and always looked out for others, even though he put his dreams on hold, the entire town rallied to give George the money that his brother lost to Dickhead, who never got penalized for it. But they all give him the money, and he realizes that he has a very fulfilled life, and he is loved, and he has his family, and that's all he needs.
Do you know why Capra never showed Potter getting punished? He said that he received more hate mail for that than anything else he did in his career. But he had a specific reason why he didn't show Potter getting punished.
Why? Why did he not show it?
Because he said that basically in life, sometimes villains get away with it. And the story wasn't about Potter getting justice. It was about George's self-worth and what he was worth to that town. So he wanted to focus more on George and just say, screw Potter. Potter basically didn't have anything in life because everybody hated him. So that was his punishment.
Well, there you go. And so as everybody's singing and everything is wonderful because it's a wonderful life.
Gets a telegram.
And the telegram is from
Sam.
And it says, "Hey, dude, I know times are hard. I'm going to advance you 25 grand.
Which is funny because he only needed 8.
I know. And that ensured the building and loan building probably to stay afloat for quite some time. And so, I mean, you can see the relief come on George's face. There was an insurmountable problem. He found a solution, or the solution found him. And he has much to be thankful for. He had Zuzu's pedals in his pocket again.
Zuzu's pedals.
And he's holding her, and we're singing Aldous of Long Slong. And
Harry shows up.
And Harry's like, dude, you're the best big brother ever. And George is like, aw, thanks, Harry.
You're the richest man in this town.
No, was that bad too? And so, a bell rings. Angel got his wings.
Look, Daddy. Teacher says every time a bell rings, an angel gets his wings. That's right.
And then he basically says, shut the fuck up, Zuzu. Everybody's trying to sing.
Shut the fuck up, Zuzu. Everybody's trying to sing.
That All the Zong Zing Zong song.
Auld Lang Syne.
Something like that. And like I said earlier, it fucking snuck up on me. I'm bawling like a baby. I still can't explain it, but this movie was better than I thought it was going to be.
Which part of that end scene do you think you got most choked up over?
Well, when the town comes to save him.
For me, I think it's his reaction to finally seeing Mary again. You know, the kids started getting me a little choked up, but his just so happy. You know, it made me think of my own wife and how much I enjoy seeing her come home every day. Did you know that this was a communist movie?
A communist movie?
Yeah, basically, right after this movie came out, they got accused of basically being communist propaganda because of the way they made bankers look bad. And so it was during that whole, I think, McCarthy era kind of thing that it got added to the list. It was supposed to be investigated. Nothing ever really came of it, but it did. I think it hurt the movie a little bit back then. It's one other reason why that movie did not do so well.
Yeah, well, lesson learned. Lesson learned. And that was It's a Wonderful Life. What do you guys think? You guys ready to rate this flick?
I'm ready to rate this flick. How about you, John? Are you ready to rate this flick?
When a bell rings, you're about to get a great review.
Hey, Professor, how do we do our ratings?
We do our ratings on a scale of 1 to 5 fucks. 5 fucks is a movie that we think is cinematic gold. A 1 fuck movie is you get done watching it and you're thinking to yourself, I'm never watching that again.
And what's a 0?
A 0 fuck movie is you get done watching it, you turn to your buddy and you're like, oh, for shit's sake, what the hell? Why would you make me watch that? I want 2 hours and 10 minutes of my life back.
Or in other words, we just don't give a fuck. All right, who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
All right, buddy, you go first.
But before I do, Don.
Yes, sir.
What is my rating going to be?
You are going to give It's a Wonderful Life 4 fucks.
Final answer?
Yes.
I've seen It's a Wonderful Life once, maybe twice before, but I never really paid close attention. This time, actually focusing, I was surprised by how much this movie moved me. George and Mary were perfectly cast. Clarence was absolutely lovable, and Mr. Potter made it so easy to hate him. Somehow this movie even managed to warm my cold, cold heart. I found myself feeling every bit of what George has, what he loses, and the joy he feels when he gets it back. While some parts of this movie did feel a bit long, I did find myself enjoying this movie more than I thought I would. It's easy to see why this film is a classic, often imitated, never matched, and in my opinion, never done better. It's for those reasons I'm giving It's a Wonderful Life 4 out of 5 fucks.
Fucking nailed it. You're going to give it like 4.5. But go on. You're next.
It's a Wonderful Life is a classic Christmas movie that has solidified itself in Americana lore when it comes to the holidays. It does not disappoint. The movie, I recall, I was probably in high school at the time, and the TV guide that came with the newspapers, I remember it had an article and it showed that It's a Wonderful Life was on one of the many stations playing every single day in December. The movie lost its protection under the studio in the 1970s, and so it was open for syndication and people could watch it, and that's when the movie really took off. And so I grew up watching this movie all the time. I've seen it a bunch of times. Watching it this time around, though, I have to say it hit me really hard, and it's a really good watch. It just makes you feel so good, and the characters are just a delight.
the kookiness of Uncle Billy, George and Mary, and Potter, and watching George's dreams continue to get kicked down the road, and he's left behind in Bedford Falls, thinking that his life is a complete waste of time that never transpires to anything, only to have him realize just how incredibly important he is to Bedford Falls. I think it's a very enjoyable watch. It's easy for me to watch. It's a solid 4.75 fuck movie.
4.75 fucks from the professor. This being my real first time of watching this movie, I thought it was better than I thought it was going to be. It is a bit long. It does take a long time to get to the Christmas carol of it, if you will, because, I mean, let's face it, listeners, this is just another version of A Christmas Carol, told a little bit differently. And I think the fact that with Jimmy Stewart in it, he carries this film on his shoulders and does a really good job. Only a couple of things I had some issues with, the length being one of it. The other, visible child abuse, was kind of shocking to watch. But, you know, they say it was at a different time. But again, doesn't make it right. But overall, I think the message is sound, right? Don't be a dick and, you know, treat others how you want to be treated. I mean, it's really not that hard. And I think that Jimmy Stewart does a really good job of portraying that character that cares for everybody other than himself. From the time he was a kid to the time he's an adult, he always put others first, even though on the outside he's like, me, 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 me. But in the end, it wasn't. And so the last 10 minutes teared me up. I thought it was a really good film. It is definitely a holiday classic. That is for sure. But for me, I mean, I've seen other holiday classics that I like better. So for me, I'm giving It's a Wonderful Life 3.75 fucks. With 4 fucks from the comic book guy, 4.75 fucks from the professor, and 3.75 fucks from yours truly, that gives It's a Wonderful Life an average of 4.2 fucks. Which now puts it in the 11th spot with Scream, The Big Lebowski, The Breakfast Club, Top Gun Maverick, Thor, Love and Thunder, and Casino Royale. It is slightly better than Clerks 3, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, Big Fish, The Fifth Element, Violent Night, Spider-Man No Way Home, Rudy, Meet the Parents, and The Sandlot. And it is slightly worse than Mad Max Fury Road, Ghostbusters Afterlife, Saving Private Ryan, Hunt for the Wilder People, and Enter the Dragon. So there you have it, boys. All right, that is going to wrap it up for this episode of Three Guys in a Flick. If you would like to know which movie we're going to be reviewing next, please check out the website. Speaking of which, hey, John, where can they find us?
They can find us at threeguysinaflick.com, where we go ahead and post all of our show notes. You can find all of our podcasts, and there's a web form on there that you could submit a movie you'd like to go in the helmet. And you can also find us at all of social media, where on Tuesdays, I've been posting what movie we are releasing on that following Thursday. And you can find us at any place that hosts podcasts, where while you're listening to us, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to go ahead and give us a 5 rating. We would love it. And if you want, in the comments, you could leave a film that you would like us to review.
Speaking of comments, good sir, what do we have this week?
We have a comment from Chris T. And his comment this week is, "You guys are great. I really like your breakdown and your scores. Excited for some more movies. Hopefully the movies are a little bit older, even though I'm 38. And I have one more I'd like to share. I actually had a conversation today with one of our fans, Matthew M., who I've talked to in the past. He kind of made me start thinking about our show a little bit. He was talking to me about how much he loves to listen to each show, and he's a trucker, and he actually teaches other truckers, and he encourages all of his other truckers to listen to our show. And it reminded me a little bit, like I said, of the theme of this movie, which is, in the past, I've always been focused on, getting us more out there. And we always get so excited when we hit 100,000 downloads, when we hit 150, when we hit 200, when we hit 250 downloads, always so excited for that next big number. And I never really thought about the effect that our podcast has on people who are listening. And one of our biggest audiences is truck drivers, who I always feel like they are the blood of this country running through the veins. I mean, they are the people who are out there all the time, and a lot of them listen to our show. So I wanted to throw out a special thank you from the three guys to all the truckers and anybody else who listens to us every week. You have really done something special for us to give us this opportunity to talk movies with you. So again, thank you so much, everybody.
Well, there you go. Well said. I also want to thank anybody who listens and who has suggested a movie. If you keep listening, we'll keep recording. For Three Guys in a Flick, I'm Don.
I'm John.
And I'm Ken. Thanks for listening, and happy holidays.
Hee-haw!
Three guys with some mics, yeah, dialed into the flicks. We're here for the real talk, no time for the tricks. Don is the captain, steering us right. Kid drops knowledge, shedding light. John with the comics, bringing the hype. From the good, the bad, to the absurd, we break it down, make sure you're heard. Passion for the screen, we ride or die about movies. You know, we always give a fuck, no lie.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6, 7.
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
Can you do a Jimmy Stewart voice?
I was working on it last night. I'm not really that great at it.
Clarence, help me. Clarence, get me back. Please, God, let me live again. That's not very good, Jimmy Stewart. Sounded more hickish.
Yeah, a little bit. What is it you want, Mary? What do you want? You want the moon? Just say the word and I'll throw it. No, let's see, I went into it. Why are you looking at me? I'm just trying, bud.
I bet you he can do the best imitation.
It's going to sound like Sean Connery, but please, Jimmy Stewart us.
Well, what do you want me to say? So, you want me to lasso the moon? Is that what you want, Mary?
Yeah, well, that's pretty good.
I talked to my father this weekend, and I asked him what he thought of our review of Rudy.
Oh, so he listened to it.
He did listen to it, and he loved the review. He thought it was a really great review. He even told me he tried to count all the F-bombs throughout the podcast.
Well, there's a time passer.
So,
I'm sorry, Rick.
So, especially for Don, he counted how many times Don said the word fuck. Don, what was the final count?
Fuck me, dude. I don't know. 89 times.
His answer? I lost count because he said it so many times.
No, I should have seen that coming.
His girlfriend even said at one point, why do they swear so much?
Hey, I get passionate about my films, man. I'm sorry. All right, what do you got?
I've got a few.
I got a couple.
I only have one.
What do you have?
Fist My Wonderful Wife.
That is not bad.
That's not bad
That's
at all.
hard to compete with that one.
I got one. It's His Fuckable Wife.
You guys really thought about this stuff. I just went with, like, it's an X-rated life.
Wow, you didn't really put any thought into it, did you?
Well, I also had It's a Wonderful Lick.
Okay.
It's a Mouthful Life.
It's a Mouthful Life.
It's a Wonderful Ride.
It's a Wonderful Ride, yeah.
And then I had It's a Wonderful Lust.
I had It's a Lustful Life, and It's His Fuckable Wife. But I think you win with Fist My Wonderful Wife. All right, may all of your days and nights be filled with happiness. All right, fuck off. Good night.
Three guys in a flick, keep the passion alive. Fuck